It's the Standard Pauper Show. It's a show about Standard Pauper. Hello, everybody. It's Brennan. That's right, your lovable host. Along with me, as always, is Sam. Say hello, Sam.
Hello, everybody. How's it going this week? I hope you're staying warm.
Yep, lots of snow out there. See crazy temperatures all over the place. Hope everybody finds a way to bundle up. Unless you're in Australia, then go to the beach. Have a good time.
Send me a koala.
Koala. You don't want a koala. Those things are evil.
I want a koala, evil or not.
Just want an evil koala.
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, as you can see on the screen, we got spoilers and the Gauntlet to discuss. What do we have? I'm not going to go into it in too much depth because SPDC did not happen. The only thing that did happen was MPDC. We can look at the top 8 real quick. Gwynedd won with Boros Heroic, and Tiag Oxers? I'll leave it up to you. Won with Boros Tokens. I would just like to point out that this is a double Boros winning week. So, but let's get right into the spoilers. We have a lot of Fate Reforged spoilers. Some even spoiled today. You'll probably not see this till tomorrow. Or will it be your today? Temporal anomalies.
Deep. You just manifested that up.
Heck yeah. Let's look. First one we have is Cunning Strike. It's an instant. Deals 2 damage to target creature. 2 damage to target player, then draw a card. But what I like about it is it's not, I don't think you have to do 2 damage to draw that card, because it's on that next line. You know, it's its own thing.
I think you just have to have a target for it, and I mean, you're always going to be playing against somebody, so...
Right. So, it's pretty good. I know we were talking earlier and you really liked it. But man, 5 mana for 2 damage. I'm afraid it is not Electrolyze.
Yeah, Electrolyze had a lot more flexibility built in too, but I mean, it wasn't uncommon.
That's true.
And so, yeah, it's not Electrolyze. Winter Flame, which is an uncommon from Khans, is a lot closer.
Okay.
But I like it because it does 3 things. 5 mana for those 3 effects. That's not horrible.
No, that's true.
Yeah, and then I really like all the Jeskai art in the set. I don't know if you've stopped and looked at any of the art, but it's like the blue, white, and red cards that are Jeskai by far have the best art in the entire set. It just seems to me. So. Oh
yeah, whoever took the assignment really put a lot of care into these.
Yeah, whoever did the theme art and stuff for the whole block so far has just been really, really good. So
yeah, it has been. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I think a lot of these. Too bad not many of these are oils anymore, so you can't really sell them. You can only get prints of them. But
yeah,
it seems like it'd be, if any of these were done on canvas, pretty good investment, because a lot of the stuff can hang up in a living room because it's not gross.
Yeah, I mean, everything has to be a certain level of tastefulness in the game. So, but I mean, just look at Electrolyze. It's a blobby dude standing there with some lights around him while that gentleman is spin kicking lightning. So,
I think he's spin kicking icicles at you.
Okay, well, you can think that. I think he's kicking a bolt of lightning.
Hey, either way.
Makes me happy.
Okay. Whisperer of the Wilds. 1 and a green. Creature, human, shaman. Tap to add green to your mana pool. Ferocious. Tap to add green to your mana pool.
Okay.
All right.
So I have to ask, has anybody playing Standard Pauper ever seen or experienced a Ferocious trigger?
I'd say a couple.
I haven't.
I haven't.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's probably the rule of thumb So
you would have to work. And my concern is this. By the time you have something ferocious, how badly are you in need of green?
I mean, why are you even bothering?
Right.
You can just play Elvish Mystic, and it can attack.
Right. I think the biggest drawback of this is that it's 2 mana for an 0-2, can't stop a morph. If it was a 1-2 or an 0-3...
Yeah, just an 0-3 would make it infinitely better.
Yeah, I think there's a missed opportunity there. A wall with an upside is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's take a look at Grim Contest. I like this card. It's 1 black-green, instant. Choose a target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls. Each of those creatures deals damage equal to its toughness to the other. I think that's really cool.
I guess there's a commander card, Dorian.
Yeah, Doran, the Siege Tower.
Yeah, that guy. And I guess this is like a play off of his gimmick.
Yeah, he is the white, black, green commander. Like, it was one of the very, very few before this set came out.
Okay. And he does everything. He makes everybody do damage equal to their toughness.
Yeah, and I believe also defenders can attack.
Oh. Well, that's pretty cool.
I think so. I might be wrong on that. I've never played with him, but I thought that's what his other gimmick was. This was pretty cool, actually.
I like the instant speed. And Abzan happens to have a lot of stuff with big butts.
Yes, so. Exactly. Like the one black Outlast guy that's an 0-4.
Yeah, the Disowned Ancestor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that automatically takes care of just about all of the format.
Yes. So. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. It's a fight card, a Golgari fight card, which is odd.
It does an Abzan thing, though, so that's pretty cool.
More Abzan. Harsh Sustenance. 1 white and black, instant. Deals X damage to target creature or player. You gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control.
I think this one is actually Mardu.
Mardu? Let's see. Oh, it is Mardu. Look at the Sand Citadel. Yep, there it is.
Because it's, that's where tokens were pushed.
There you go.
In Mardu. So, yeah. I don't feel like there was enough token pushing to make this that great.
Right. It might be Mardu, but look at that. Look at the art, though.
Yeah.
The art is Abzan.
Definitely looks more Abzan.
But you're right. Tokens, except for the warrior tokens. There's a ton of warrior tokens in Abzan.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely has good overlap, and they like to do that at the common level.
Right, which is cool because, if it had a green, you couldn't use it in Mardu. If it had a red, you couldn't use it in Abzan. So, they made a wise choice. All right, War Flare. 1 white, red, instant.
2
red and white. Oh, man, look at that. I'm telling you lies. It's 4 mana. 2 red and white. Alright. Creatures you control get +2/+1, and you untap them. So it's an instant trick. Most of the other ones that give you 2/1 are 5 mana, but it's usually 4 and a white. Or I think there's one that is 2 white, where it only gives an advantage to white creatures.
Yeah.
So this is interesting, but that is a lot of mana. But if you're moving in with a whole bunch of tokens, this could really be good for you.
I mean, I see it as being useful, but wouldn't you just rather play Trumpet Blast?
Yeah, I would. It's cheaper to cast. Don't have to worry about the white mana.
And it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't untap. It doesn't give that 1 point of toughness. But I mean, in a rush deck,
yeah, I'm not.
You don't really care.
I'm not. I am already committed to not blocking. So
yeah, so I'm not that sold on it. I mean, War Leader's Helix cost the same mana and did so much more. I mean, you really want like at least a 3/3 creature for this casting cost. So, I mean, I'm sure somebody out there will build a big tokeny rush deck and bowl people over with this, but
Right.
I don't like it.
And this week, in my coming up article, I will go over since the top 2 decks were Boros, I'll kind of see if this has any place in it. Since they already seem to be kicking booty. I don't know if there's really any place for it.
I don't think you need to slot it in now by any means, but...
Alright, so let's take a look at the next one. Lightning Shrieker. Sam and I talked a whole lot about this one. It's 4 and a red for a dragon. What does this dragon have?
Dragon!
Yeah, it has flying, trample, and haste. It is a 5/5. Wow.
Okay, so it's a dragon.
Yeah.
A common, and that's pretty cool.
A 5/5 dragon at common. Yeah, that's...
Flying.
It's almost unprecedented. Flying, trample, haste. It's pretty awesome. Drawback. At the beginning of the end step, Lightning Shrieker's owner shuffles it into his or her library. So you only get it for a round. But it kind of recurs itself. It's interesting. Some comparisons. When I first saw it, it reminded me of back when Dark came out. It's the first box of Magic I ever bought. Ball Lightning. I loved this card so much. It was just awesome. It's a 3 red, so red, 6/1 Trampler with haste. That card made little teenage Brennon so happy.
I can remember that card being a quite expensive card for quite a long time as well.
Yeah, they reprinted the heck out of it, but yeah, it's a good card. Something else that has been compared to is Lava Axe. People are saying here's the funny thing. If you go look online, people either think this card is awesome and has a place, or it's a worse Lava Axe.
How can something you can recur over and over again throughout the course of a game be worse?
I don't see it. And also, it can draw out removal, which I know is not the greatest thing in the world. But most people will be compelled to not take 5 damage. So it itself is kind of a removal spell. Because they want
it gets rid of a blocker, which Lava Axe can never do.
Yeah, you would have to find a way to cheat it in, but yeah.
I think the Shrieker is an overall better card. Lava Axe sees no play.
Right.
But I can see the Shrieker actually being something that does see play. Yep. Fun fact, the only other red dragon at common is Dragon Hatchling.
I like this way better. I feel more
way better.
I feel more manly playing this than Dragon Hatchling.
Way better, yeah. So I think people are gonna try it out.
Yeah.
I think right now with Red White Heroic being the main deck, it's probably not as feasible, but
that's true.
Maybe this time next year after Theros rotates out, Cottons is way slower.
That's very true.
So it should be fun to watch these cards kind of grow into their own. So
yep. Also, check this out. This is the first time it happened. It was a rare in Alara. Trample, haste, 7/7 for 3 red green. And it does the same thing about shuffling back into the library. So, they've done it before. It went from a rare to a common.
And you lose 2 power of toughness and damage, but you gain flying. I think that's a good trade-off.
I do too. I don't know. I'm pleasantly optimistic about Lightning Shrieker. Could be good. So let's see. Now, here's another card that it's similar to. Beacon of Destruction, which is a rare. It's 3 red. Deals 5 damage to a creature or player, and you shuffle it back in. This is an instant, so yeah, it's a little more useful at times, but I think this is a decent comparison, because like I said, if they have anything that can get in the way, I think most people will feel compelled to block it because they don't want to take 5 to the dome.
Oh yeah, the dragon, if they can block it, they're blocking it. They're not going to let 5, they're not going to lose a quarter of their life to your 5 mana if they could possibly avoid it.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's take a look at a terrible quality picture, but it's Fierce Invocation. 4 and a red. Sorcery. Manifest the top card of your library, then put 2 counters on it. So you manifest, and you get a 4/4 for 5 mana.
Doesn't sound exciting to me. I mean, maybe if there was something best case scenario, you're about to say if it's a creature, you can flip it up and keep the 2/2 counters.
Right, but why am I paying 5 mana for 2 counters?
Exactly. On a creature that if you're playing it right now is probably going to cost less than 5 mana to cast.
Right. When I first saw this card, it was very tiny, and I thought it said manifest 2 cards of your library. Because I mixed up.
That gets a lot better.
Oh my gosh, if you got 2 3/3s for 5 mana, that would make this card bananas.
That's almost the Fury of Horns level card there.
They're not. Yeah, it would beat it because they're 3/3s.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would.
But it's not that good.
Yeah. Oh well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
And it gets worse with Formless Nurturing. 3 and a green. Sorcery. Manifest the top card of your library, then put a 1/1 counter on it.
Why can't one of these two be an instant?
I don't know. For 4 mana, it should be an instant.
They're so close. They're so close in casting costs. They're so close in effect. Mm-hmm. And there's really nothing setting them apart besides the 1 mana and the 1 counter on the red one. I just don't see either of these really seeing any play.
Yeah, I don't either. Unless they spoil something that makes manifesting it bonkers. You know, like they put Phyrexian Dreadnought at common.
Right.
Something like that. Eater of Days. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's
not
never
likely.
Yeah. Alright, let's take a look. Now this, I like. I like this one quite a bit. Right into Being. 2 and a blue. Look at the top 2 cards. Manifest 1, put the other on the bottom. So it's kind of like you're paying 3 mana, and you get to look at the top 2 cards, and then you get to put a 2/2 out there. So you can decide which one of those maybe you can
becomes
flip.
a 2/2.
Yeah, I don't know. Of the 2 we've seen so far, this is the one I would pick.
I think it's probably the best one out of all the manifest cards that I've seen at common. Right. It's basically Scry 2.
It is.
And then you put 1 card into play as a 2/2 and then scry the other one. So I like it. I mean, again, I don't know how much play it will see, but it definitely feels like the strongest one because you can almost always get rid of a land.
Very true.
With this, which is really good. That's the one way that I think Manifest actually really works. Mm-hmm. With Scry, I mean, I think it makes what's the 1 blue Scry dude from Theros Block?
The Scryfish?
No, he's a 1/3. I want to say Fathom Seer, but that's the Morphe guy.
No.
Omen Speaker. Yeah, Omen Speaker becomes, I think, a lot better with Manifest, and the Scryfish does too, because you can start. It blocks morphs, and it sets you up for manifesting stuff that you actually want face down. Instead of getting your sorceries and your instants, you can get creatures and lands. So, I think that's better. I don't like how restricting Manifest is. I don't know if they plan on doing something in the 3rd set with it that it expands it outwards. It's really strange that they're pushing it so hard when there's only like 2 bolster cards and 2. What's the other mechanic in the set that's barely present at all?
I can't even think of it. Are we going to see it in a second?
I don't know if there's anything at common yet.
I can't think of it.
Okay, we're going to spoiler sites, everybody.
Yeah.
So, wait just a moment.
I mean,
there's a very small amount of delves so far.
Yeah.
And
gotta fill in the quiet times while we're looking up some cards. Hey now. Oh wait, on the mothership they did a whole article on him.
On bolster?
On all the mechanics.
Oh, the rolling thing. Right. They typically try to do that.
Looking up stuff.
Again,
Dash. Yes. Dash.
There's like 3 cards with Dash right now, and I thought Dash would be a much larger part of the set at this point.
That dragon, if it was 2 red with Dash, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be awesome to have a Dash card on there. It would automatically be like a rare, though.
I would take 3 red and do it all day, every day.
So, I don't know why they're pushing, in my opinion, like the least exciting of the mechanics over 2 mechanics that, like Dash, I thought looks insanely interesting. And it's barely represented so far. And I know we're a little under halfway through the spoiler, but I mean, even if they do a whole bunch with the other 2 mechanics, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to catch up. So.
Oh well. Okay, let's look at the next one.
Yep.
This one I like quite a bit. Sultai Emissary. 1 in a black zombie warrior. When he dies, manifests the top card of your library. He replaces himself. You know what that reminds me of? The Undying Butcher Ghoul, but with upside.
With a lot of upside. Yes. This is one of the few times that I think Manifest is good because it just happens.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. I really like I said, I really like the fact that there's some card replacement. It looks good to me.
And I mean, I liked Butcher Ghoul immensely, even though he wasn't the strongest of the Undying cards. Young Wolf being probably the best one of that bunch.
Without a doubt.
But I think the Emissary into 2/2 face down creature, flip it, is actually really, really good. So, excited to try this guy out. I mean, effectively you have to kill him twice, and that's always good stuff.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's the end of the spoilers. A little bit of F&M time. Again, let me know if you're going to do it. If you're playing some live Standard Pauper, send me some pictures. I'll help out the best I can. I can provide some tiny level of advertising for free. I'll put out links, I'll tweet, and talk about it on the show. So some people will see it. Heck, you can just show it to your friends. Show this to your friends anyway, because, you know, I like external validation. Alright, now let's see if we can get Dan on the phone to talk about the Gauntlet. Okay, well, Dan, we have some pretty interesting stuff to talk about. First thing you did while we were on vacation, you did the top 10 playoff. As a recap for those who aren't aware, in the Gauntlet, Dan had only 7 decks make it to the 8th round. But you need 3 for a top 10. So what he did is all the people from round 7 that didn't make it to round 8, he had a playoff. And here's the standings. Dan, did you want to talk about anything in the standings? Were you surprised, not surprised? What was your biggest, what do you think was the biggest upset?
Well, the thing that surprised me the most was that I won all 7 matches in round 1 of the playoff. So that didn't really matter a whole lot. The reason I needed 10 decks, maybe I should explain, because the top 10 decks auto-qualify for next year's or next season of the Pauper Gauntlet, whenever that may happen. So we needed to know which of these 7 decks were the 3 best. Right. So we played the first round then, and then there was a second round. And then finally some decks started to lose. We're not going into detail on these matches, right?
Not too much. If there's anything you wanted to point out, I just wanted to show everybody who ended up making it to the top 10 and their road to victory.
So I started by losing the kitties there.
Yeah, that is very sad.
And then Green Gristish ran into a bad matchup that is a deck with black removal.
Ouch.
So, yeah, that was hard. So then I thought, okay, we have 4 decks left, and it'll probably be several more rounds. But then, very conveniently, just one of them lost.
Yeah, that was very handy.
And Deluxe, of course, took out Delverfiend.
Oh yeah, with his deluxe woo. Yep.
Deck.
Yep. That is true. That was a tight match.
And the other 3 won. So Goblins, Green One, and Rebel Grind made the top 10. They all got the 8th spot on the Pauper Gauntlet Season 2.
I'm very glad that Rebel Grind made it. It's a crazy deck that went this far, so I'm glad it's going to be showcased again.
And I'm particularly happy Green One made it because I've been kind of pulling for it like pretty much the entire go because it's insane. It's just a really good deck. Sad about the kitties, but I don't think they're as well positioned as they were last year. Yeah. So, and of course, if you're going to lose a deck, if you're going to lose with Delverfiend, losing to the Lexicoif is
it's not. I don't think that's dishonorable.
Oh no, not at all. He's a great player. So.
Then I will be happy that Goblins got the top 10 because Goblins and Stompy, which is in the top 7, did perform very well last year. So
that's true.
There is some sort of consistency and not entirely random.
There it is. Well, cool. Well, let's go ahead. Now that we know that Goblins, Green One, Rebel Grind made the top 10, let's take a look. First up is Burn versus Delver.
Very tough matchup for Burn.
I was shocked, but you did it.
I did. How did I manage that?
With the Fire Blast at the very end.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
You made him spend his mana leak, and you Fire Blasted. And you still had a mana floating, not that it would have done you any good, but he didn't have to know that.
Yeah. He made some sub-optimal choices, I felt.
Right.
He didn't respect the power of the burn.
It doesn't seem that many people make that mistake, but yep, there it is. It can sneak up on you.
And definitely not.
Oh, sorry.
It was a strange Delver build too, like running quicksands and stuff.
Oh, right.
So, and I mean, mana leaks, you don't see that in Pauper too often. So yeah. I mean, definitely felt like a matchup that you should have won. So, and you did. So.
Very cool.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the next one. Mono Red Heroic versus Zoo. You destroyed him. I mean, there's that last match. That wasn't even close. You straight up annihilated everything he was trying to do.
Yep, felt good. Smack in the face.
Bang in the face.
You know, JPHNIC has a secret document that I have with all the sideboard plans. And then there is some play instruction. There are like formulas and stuff for calculating things. Yes. And the full description of Mono Red Heroic is stupid aggro deck, turn guy sideways, win.
I don't think that's a secret.
No, but and then there's a sideboard plan, of course. But for the other decks, there are like a lot of information.
Right. Oh, and this deck, for people who are interested, I played a modern version of it, working with JPH Snake. Put a video on the channel. Going to put some more because we have made further improvements to it. One of which is actually adding mutagenic growth for some green. And because he said you can go one of two ways. You can just try to do like a super fast tokens build or more of a heroic build up dudes build. And I thought that was more interesting. So stay tuned for that. There'll be more videos on the channel. Yeah.
Nice.
Now we have Stompy versus a crazy zombie build. Stompy won. Stompy does not like rogue decks.
I think Stompy has it's weak against rogue decks, but it wasn't weak against this.
Exactly.
It's not weak against bad rogue decks.
Come on, let's be nice.
I'm sorry, I try to be nice as much as I can, but that was not a good zombies build. It was not a Travis Wu deck. I'm sorry. So.
It's true. I mean, there's some quote-unquote standard zombie builds out there that you should probably stick with. Or just play Tortured Existence.
There was a period in the round of death and round 7 when I ran into good players playing good decks all the time. So I'm glad to get some of the rogue action.
Round 7 was depressing.
Yep.
Let's take a look at Affinity versus Mono Black Control. You destroyed him, but he also gave up at 20 life. Which seems weird to me, but there you go.
Yeah, I only had 1 4/4.
Yeah. And he hit.
I only had 1 4/4 that I cast for 2 mana.
Yes.
Hey, what's wrong with that? I don't see anything.
And I look fairly flooded in my hand. It doesn't look very good.
I think that was a way early concession, but a concession is a concession. Happy Johnny 5 won the day.
Woohoo!
Say
Johnny 5.
Hello, Johnny 5. So yeah, see, we have friendly robots. Those people who play against us have mean, terrible robots.
True.
Then we had, oh my gosh, you were playing Suru Cuckoo. Oh, this was incredible. That last turn, double Exhume, double Crusher. He had nothing he could do about that. Nothing. So.
Oh, that's a sweet feeling. And you can double Exhume on round 4.
Yeah.
I think you crushed him. You crushed his hopes. You crushed his dreams.
You did, because, I mean, you were swinging in for 16 next turn, and there's nothing he could have done about it.
And his entire board went away.
Yeah.
It would have been beautiful. He should have played it out. That's a shame.
I guess.
I can see why he
didn't. I understand.
I get it, too.
He's probably got articles to write and stuff, so. Okay, let's take a look at Bugs and Pigs versus Delver. Oh, no. Delver won.
This was identified as a problem matchup by the brewer.
Yeah.
I had more hope. I felt like, playing control decks, you normally have a fairly good chance against Delver, but this is not the cheapest of control decks.
No. Yeah, he had an engine going. He was unstoppable.
Yeah, those ninjas everywhere.
Everywhere, yes.
Ninja invasion.
They
were like Raphael from the left, Leonardo from the right.
We got Ninja Turtles all up in this.
And it was the death of the last grindy mid-range rogue deck, so it was a sad day in my household.
Yeah, that was super sad. Imagine if it comes down to just aggro decks.
Well, they'll probably be quick.
Yeah. We can do 10 rounds
exactly.
in a week.
All right, and today the video went up for you yesterday. Familiars versus Mono Blue Control. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a horrible seat to be in, to be the Mono Blue Control player.
Yeah.
The one thing you can hope for is an early Delver and then protect
it. Right. And you swung in with the Seagate Oracle for rub-ins.
I mean, you're playing so much counter, but you just can't counter all of that stuff. I mean, look at that board. That's insane.
Once Familiars gets its engine going, and you had two
Right. You're just done.
You had 2 flickers.
Yeah.
You don't even need to hit the engine. It's just the threat of the engine. But you draw so many cards compared to mono blue control that you can just outvalue him and kill him with crap.
It's crazy. Oh well. Man, these rounds are so short now.
Yes, they're really short. I'm not really decided what I should do after round 9. How should I really spend a week doing the round?
Well, I mean, if it's not,
it might be too
if it's not 7 anymore, which I'm just making an assumption that
as only 6 made it out of this round, so your assumption is
exactly. So you don't even have one a day. Don't know. Maybe I would say people probably want to see at least some practice rounds if there's anything that you want to bone up on.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do for round 10. 1 real round and then a practice round.
That makes sense. All right. Wow.
So I have to ask you again.
Oh no. What are you doing this to me?
You think we'll win the Pauper Gauntlet?
You do this to me all the time. I am picking...
But now you should have a random chance of finding the right answer.
I'm picking Mono Red Heroic for the simple fact that I'm trying to make a modern version of it. And I've had some practice room success so far, so that seems good too.
And you ran into a tier 1 fully decked out deck at one point that was insane in the practice room, not in the tournament practice room, in the just for fun room.
He was full on pod. Abzan pod, was it? Yeah. Or 4-color pod.
Full on pod. It was, I think it was Abzan, but it was insane. Like full power, like all the way tier 1, and he was in there rolling noobs. That's what he was doing.
He probably lost an 8-man. And went and decided to bolster his ego. I don't know. I thought I didn't just roll over though.
No, you did good, but I mean, you're in there fine tuning a deck, and he's taking a 75 card masterpiece into the just for fun room.
Yeah.
So there was a discrepancy there, but it's still a well played match. You just couldn't do anything against the stupid mod.
And Dan's already gotten on to me for not recording these matches that I've been practicing in.
Yeah, the people
they really do, but I always feel like sometimes when I'm practicing, because that particular version was different than the one JPH Snake and I had talked about originally. He threw out some ideas, and I had modified it a bit and went through and kind of updated it with some ideas, but not really expecting to immediately go up against full-on pod, but that's fine.
Nice.
Yep.
My pick is still Familiars.
Yeah, it's a solid pick.
I mean, Dan pulled out that game 1 of that match, like, out of nowhere. He was just like, oh, I'll just draw a wall. And then he drew the wall. And then he won. And that was it. And that Delver player was like, oh, well, okay, forget it. So, it's a pretty good turn of events. So that's still my pick to win it all at the end. So the evil familiar deck. Unless I guess it gets banned before the end of the Gauntlet.
What do we do? So, let's not talk about that.
And when is the banning announcement?
Before the release. So before the...
Yeah, isn't it
in
a couple of weeks?
Before the paper release.
2 weeks.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So... I mean, not that I think they're going to axe Cloud of Fairies or anything, but it is the hope.
Okay, Dan, that means you need to play a whole lot of matches. And just not tell us about them.
Dan's like, I'm secretly at round 43. You guys don't know. 3 decks. That's all that's left.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, it's 3 decks that can't lose. They're just going on and on and on.
I think it's round 15 that will take a lot of time to do, as I have to play a daily event with every deck.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Dan's
daily
staying
events
up until the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're at 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Weekends.
That's so awful, man.
So I probably can't do more than 2 a weekend. So that round would take at least 3 weeks with 6 weeks left.
Oh, jeez. Honeymoon. You were made of sterner stuff than I, sir.
I don't know how often the 2-man's fire. But I don't know how often the 2-man's fire.
I don't know either.
Or if the 8-man's even fire at all.
I don't know.
You know, I don't know if the 8-man's fire. I think the 2-man's still do, though.
Yeah. The problem is probably the 8-man's.
Yeah.
But they should probably still fire more than the dailies.
I would think so, because isn't Tom the Scud getting 8-man results?
He has been, but like the crash took him down last weekend or something like that.
That's too bad. Oh well. Wow, Dan, I feel like we just...
But surely we are close to the end at this point.
Yeah.
The 2-man round is round 13, and now my goal is to make it there.
Yep. Oh. Speaking of, you just reminded me of something. The Gauntlet is taking I just throw stuff on the ground while I'm making a podcast. That makes a lot of sense, Brennan.
You don't have to be so angry, Brennan.
Throw it around.
I'm so upset. Anyway, the Gauntlet's coming to a close. But I still think that this show has room for Mr. Dan. And I'm pretty sure Sam agrees with me.
Absolutely.
So, Dan, if you aren't too busy and we can learn how clocks work, I think I think it would be cool if you could join us on a regular basis from, even after the Gauntlet finishes, if that is okay with you.
I have dipped my toe into the Standard Pauper waters.
There's video of Dan.
I can be the noob that you guys educate.
Yeah, and you know what will be a great time to do that? Full set review coming up soon. We will get on here.
Well,
we do a super modified one, so don't be freaked out.
Yeah, we only do commons, and
we only do cards that can see play.
No vanilla creatures.
Yeah, we skip all of the junk. It really helps out avoiding a 5.5 hour long show.
So,
okay, well, I agree with that.
Cool. Well then, what we'll do is it'll be a perfect time to showcase what you think, and then what we think. We can kind of explain why we feel a certain way, and you coming from your millions of hours of Pauper playing, you're coming at it from a slightly different viewpoint, but Sam and I and Dan, this is for the people at home, we actually talk outside of the podcast. We were discussing that dragon. And I will bring it back up so we can kind of go over our thoughts. Lightning Shrieker. Here it is. So, I brought this up, and Sam and I were really excited about it. This 4-mana, flying, trample, haste dragon. But you have to shuffle it back into your library. Dan, rightfully so. Oops. Go back.
I thought it was Fierce Invocation.
Nope.
No, you did not Fierce Invocation, Dan. Trust me.
No. And so I compared it to Ball Lightning from a long time ago. When I was saying that the first... Actually, I kind of lied about that. It wasn't the first box. The first box I bought on my own was the Dark. The first box that I went in on was Legends. Sorry, I had to pop a cork. You heard something on camera. My wife brings in, can you do this? Sure. So it was a 6/1 Trampler. Ball Lightning. Haste. I loved it. This card is what made me think Magic was the most awesomest thing ever. Got reprinted all up in this. But one of the things that most people compared it to, and so did Dan, is Lava Axe. So, Dan, I guess we can kind of talk about this now if you want. What is your view?
Yes.
Like, how do you feel? I know we talked to you. You said it was a lot like Lava Axe. What do you think? Give us your overall opinion of Lightning Shrieker.
Basically, with the ball lightning, you had 6 damage for 3 mana. And this is obviously an aggressive card, the Lightning Shrieker. You can't use it in a controlling deck. So the mana efficiency is, of course, really important. And with the Lightning Shrieker, you get, for 5 mana, you get 5 damage. And that's exactly what you get from the Lava Axe. And the Lightning Shrieker can be killed.
That's true.
But it takes Flesh to Dust? Or is it anything else that can really kill it?
There's Flesh to Dust and one other. The Snake one. It's like 7 mana. But yeah.
Isn't that a sorcery?
The Snake one? Oh,
I thought it was.
I've never used it.
Yeah.
It takes...
I think there's literally Flesh to Dust at instant speed right now.
Yeah, but at least even if there's only one card and maybe it's not played that much, it's still a downside to Lava Axe. It can also be blocked. Of course, it has trample and haste, so it's not getting blocked.
Right.
But still, I think it looks like an inferior Lava Axe. There is an advantage in that you get to shuffle it back, so maybe you get to see it again, but the chance for that is really small. Is there another advantage of shuffling your deck?
Right now,
you only shuffle in. I guess there really isn't. But I mean, at the same time, though, it is going to be blocked. So it does remove a blocker a lot of the time. I mean, it's actually a fairly high power level card for the format itself. I think it goes a little bit further in Standard Pauper than in other formats, obviously, which have more powerful.
But Lava Axe has never seen play, even in Standard.
Not really, unless there's a burn strategy that comes up. There's just not one right now. And also, even though Sam and I were very enthusiastic about it, we both know that it's because this is the biggest dragon that's ever been at Common. All right. And, Magic and dragons, it's awesome. It is something that could be played, but it's very similar to Lava Axe, like you said. Some of the things I was talking to him about, this is the first one they did, Blitz Hellion, a rare back from Alara. So what we...
I can't even tell what that thing's supposed to be.
But...
Is it?
That's 7 damage is a lot.
That's big, yeah, it was a worm. But here, this is what I wish it was more like. Or if it had dash. If it had dash, even if it was like 3 red for dash. Or maybe even more, I don't know. But if it would recur back to your hand, that would make that card unbelievable.
Or I mean, even if it was 4 in a red, and then the dash was like 6 in a red, and made it prohibitive to dash out, maybe then it would be better. Yeah, I mean, we're probably just more enthusiastic about it because we rarely ever get like this type of top end in the format at that cost with those abilities. But I mean, will it see play right now? Probably not because of the Boris heroic decks.
You're building up 6 mana, you're probably down 12 points. So.
Yeah, you're probably at like 7 praying that they don't have more ways to punish you, and they do. They do.
Is there a ferocious thing you could do with the Lightning Shrieker?
There are, but like they're so underpowered at common that almost none of them are worth trying to get there on.
Yeah, we were talking about ferocious earlier. The closest thing that's coming out is the one where it gets 2 mana if you have ferocious. But if I already have 4 power creatures on board, I don't know what over the top winning strategy am I going to need 2 green. If I'm already able to get 4 power creatures on the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you have this guy on the board, you have to have 5 mana to cast him. and then you have to have those additional mana to play your ferocious guy. Like if you play the 2/3 or the what is the he's a 3/2 and then he gets a 1/1 counter that he's in Fate Restored or Fate Reforged. So you're not going to sequence your play like that. That doesn't make any sense to play your 3-drop after your 5-drop.
Do you think that they would make this still common if they added flash to it?
No.
Flying, trample, haste, flash. But you still have to...
The last flash creature?
Or don't even give it haste. Well, I guess you'd have to make it playable. But, yeah.
Yeah. Take away trample and make it a 3/3?
No, I'm not playing it then.
So it would double as a strange
it
removal
basically
spell.
would be a weird red removal spell.
Yeah, that would be a lot better.
And I'm not saying that red doesn't have the amazing removal that it's had in the past right now. But it could do better than that. Even just Lightning Strike is better than that. So
interesting. But yeah,
and if you could reanimate it in some way, if it didn't go back to your library, maybe something could be done. Not reanimate perhaps, but use it.
If we could manifest it with that red manifest spell, so it comes out as a 6/6 when we when we morph it. Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be pretty slick.
Even then, it might just be more useful as the 4/4.
Right.
Because you can just keep swinging with it.
With the 4/4. I guess if I had 2, it'd be a 7/7.
So,
ooh, yeah, not just one.
Yeah, it would be a 7/7. So we made 2 not so great cards terrific by cramming them together. Yay!
It's a combo.
We're bad at Magic. Everybody love us.
If it was in the graveyard, you could eat it for 5 life with the 50
that's right. The Rot Feaster?
Yes.
Yeah, see? They stopped that combo from happening. Just by...
Yeah, they were like, you're not getting that.
Not today. Not today.
And you can't delve it away. So you can't delve it away. You can't get rid of it to make your Treasure Cruise cheaper.
Combos with Treasure Cruise.
So,
although the last few winners of NPDC, SPDC, there's not been that many cruises. Cruise count's getting low. I've been keeping track of that. Cruise Watch 2014 ended with not that much cruise. We'll have to see what 2015 holds.
It doesn't seem to be that strong in this particular format, just because aggro is just so strong right now. I'm interested actually for your article when it goes up, because I'm sure you'll review the Boros tokens. Because I haven't seen a straight Boros tokens build have any success, and it came in second. It had to have been pretty interesting, so I might check it out.
Yeah, I'll go over it and
complain about it.
At this point is when I start talking about if I think any of these spoilers will make it better.
Yeah, and there's good stuff in the set. I really like the Black Manifest guy.
The Butcher Ghoul.
Quite a bit. Yeah, the Butcher Ghoul. And there's been other stuff that I've really enjoyed seeing at all different rarity levels. There is a red card that you tap for 2 cards and then you give it to your opponent. So I'm pretty excited about giving away my cards to my opponents.
I think you're thinking about that all wrong. I think you're too twisted up on it.
I probably am. But you tap it, you draw 2, they tap it, they draw 2. You can only do it on your turn, so they can immediately do it on their turn.
What if I have Lightning Helix? Tap, draw cards, Lightning Helix. Oh, they don't get it.
Yeah. At the same time, though, you just used the Lightning Helix to kill your own creature.
Oh, no, that...
Yeah, you replace the card.
you replace the card. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but red has some looting effects that just seem like they have to be better? I don't know. I'll probably just have to think about this one a little bit. I just saw that and I was like, blah. as far as card design goes. So
I think it's dangerous in combo. Really dangerous.
Yeah, I could see that.
The turn you go off, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, you're off to the races.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
One land spy or storm or...
Yeah, especially storm. That whole Vanishing Knack combo is the one that's super scary with that guy.
Of course it has to live for a turn.
It does, unless you can give him haste. Unless there's something, all creatures you control gain haste. It's kind of, I guess we're kind of coming to an end, but I wanted to talk about, I don't think I even have a slide for it, but we can talk about it anyway. The next league is being decided. Bava won the last league, the Standard Pauper League. 2 things are happening. One, Gwynedd is putting on a Standard Pauper sealed pool. You can go to writeradept.blogspot.com to check out the rules there. But also, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do next for the league at MagicGatheringStrat.com. Go there, and you can kind of help us decide.
So go and vote.
Vote up. Looks like heavy contenders are Standard Silver Black. Pauper EDH seem to be the 2. I mean, that's totally informal poll that I just took there. Bob is actually writing down numbers and doing math. So.
Math.
Yeah.
And then, Gwynedd's... Oh, yeah, you get a player rare in your Pauper deck, kind of. Uncommon. I don't know really how it works.
You get an uncommon.
I think doesn't your commander have to be a legend?
In Pauper EDH...
I don't think there's very many legendary uncommons.
Just any uncommon creature.
Oh, okay. See, when you do the commander filter, you actually have to try to abide by the rules.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
So we'd have to do freeform?
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's no commander zone in freeform. Yeah. God, I can't wrap my brain around it. I mean, we're going to probably have to try to trick
hoping somebody's already done this, but if they haven't, then we might just be SOL.
And then, Gwynedd's thing, he defined the rules a little bit better, which is good. He's letting people pick the packs, but you can't have more than 4 of one set.
It's too bad. I was kind of planning on going all in. But anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it does create more diversity. It's still, I feel it's going to be very Khans and Theros heavy. Because that's the power level sets. But it does make things more creative. And he's just Gwynedd@gmail.com to sign up. You just send him your name, your MTGO name, and what time zone you're in. And then he's signing people up that way. So
he's going to give you your packs. So he will know what your card pool is. And then you're just going to have to, going to have to make your deck.
Which is good.
And then meet up with your opponent, just like the leagues. So
he's doing everything through Gatherling for the matchups. So, which is a really good site. I've done a lot of Gatherling pre's. So that's really good. He's stepping away from the actual PDC website to do it, it seems, because I would discuss there's more functionality on Gatherling. So, but yeah, everybody should sign up. It looks like it's a fun time. I've been doing doing sold polls in the format for like the last 2 weeks, pretty much on and off. So, definitely some good decks you can build. Feels a lot like Cube. A standard Pauper cube, but with a little more redundancy, a little more consistency in the decks. So,
all right. Well, that's kind of what's happening. Dan, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, cool. I'm good. I am trying to prepare myself mentally for being on this show again without talking Pauper Gauntlet all the time.
I have faith.
I believe I could.
And we will talk about the old Pauper as well as the new Pauper, so don't worry. We won't completely take you out of your elements.
Yeah, we this show, even though it will always be about Standard Pauper, we'll have budget formats in general, just because I think there is a common mindset among those of us that even though we can afford good decks, it just seems more fun to play with these kind of restrictions. And with that in mind, I think just a lot of people think similarly. So if we're talking budget, budget commander, even if that ever comes up, or, just whatever, I want to make the show more inclusive of those kind of formats. And I think the three of us can come together and at least fill an hour of talking.
Easily.
So
absolutely.
there you go, folks. All right. Well, there's how to reach us. At MagicGatheringStrat. At Cerulean Says Hi. At SPO7677. If you want to talk to Dan, write stuff on YouTube. He'll respond. Facebook /MagicGatheringStrat. Like and subscribe. Well, for the Standard Pauper show, I am Brennon.
I'm Sam.
And this has been the Standard Pauper Show. Pauper Show.